G'day mates, and welcome back to Empires of the Undergrowth. Today we are going to be going in and doing Formicarium challenge number 2. But before we start that, it is time to start spending all this beautiful royal jelly that we have been collecting. Now the votes are pretty one-sided. We have pretty much everybody going for the mortar ant. The rapid fire ant, did reasonably well, but I don't think it, according to other people, doesn't seem to have proven itself in comparison to the mortar ant. So we're going to research this one here, purchased for 150 royal jelly. Now I've never actually seen the upgrades to this one because I did go for the rapid fire ant in my my little test game. You can see we cannot get this one here. I can't click it. I do believe there's a way to swap over somehow. I can unpurchase this, I think. Maybe not. Actually, it looks like I am pretty much stuck with this one, which is fine because that is the one I wanted to do. So we'll obviously want to level it up. It's going to be another 70 royal jelly there. You can see we're going to need quite a bit of royal jelly here. Corrosive, so it does 6 venom damage over the next half a second. Again, not necessarily helpful information because I don't know how much base damage is. If base damage is already 6, then that means after half a second it doubles its damage. If base damage is 60, then it's only doing an extra 10% damage in poison. So knowing how much damage this does, so if they do eventually get this wiki thing that they're talking about updated in some time, again the game is still in a very early beta, maybe a late alpha sort of a thing, so they are not feature or content complete, so there's a lot of work to do, but eventually when that's updated it would be great to know how much damage this thing actually does so I can plan it. So we've got corrosive, and we've got high pressure to choose from. That does 4.5 physical damage immediately, as opposed to over half a second. That's interesting. Half a second isn't very long, and it does do, an extra, well that does, what is it, extra 50% almost, not quite that much, extra 40% damage over half a second. This one here is like a debuff, so any other physical attacks will weaken it. And then this one here does weakening. Okay, venom attacks. So this is an interesting concept here. Crippling will make it so that our other ants do a lot more damage for 1.5 seconds. Whereas this one here means that our venom attacks, so if we go for this venom one here, it'll synergize with this weakening here, assuming that we have a critical mass of mortar ants. That'll allow them to effectively operate almost independently in their own group, because they do extra damage and ants take 40% additional damage on top. Whereas this one here will buff up everything we've got. So these ants that are also going to be fighting, these will become a more support role. But then we can also buff them up with 4.5 physical damage. I'm going to buy these. Yes, I'm going to buy these here to level them up to, I don't know if I like this whole double click the purchase button thing, but that's fine. So we've got that there, we've got 240 left. I think I'm going to go for, now nobody's voted on these ones here that I did cover in an earlier episode, so I will just make the choice as I would like. I'm thinking physical damage is going to be the way to go, as well as, physical damage and then buffing physical damage. So what I'm doing here is these ants will do additional damage, which is going to be physical damage. They're going to then buff anything else doing physical damage for an extra 1.5 seconds, which means their own damage is going to be buffed, as well as the soldier damage from our soldier ants will also be buffed if they're in a big melee. So I think that will synergize really quite well. These ones here is attack speed, or make them into a wall, so they can absorb damage, as opposed to, wow, I got almost no royal jelly left. Makes them retreat, and that does extra health. I don't care about regeneration so much, not that I can afford it, and I don't care so much about that either, so I'm not bothered that I can't afford those just yet. This one here, extra damage output, or reducing physical damage by 50%. Again, I don't know what does physical damage and what does otherwise. I think most things will be physical though. And it's only going to be these shooty ants that do something other than physical. I have no idea what I'm going to do here. What I think I'm going to be doing is I'm going to buff up our worker ants here. We've got a fair few worker ants. We've got 38 of them here, as well as another, 38, and as well as another 7 just running around in there. So we've got a fair few worker ants. What I'm going to do is actually make them into competent fighters. Again, 3 times means nothing because I don't know their base damage, but I suspect it is probably lower than than what these guys. It's more than 3 times lower than what these guys do. So they're still not going to be equal to the black ant in damage, but they will be pretty close to it, I reckon. The other option is to make them very, very good for harvesting food and make them work quicker, but we've got so many of them, I really don't think that's going to be an issue. I would prefer to make them a competent fighting force. So I'm going to buff those up, and we've effectively spent all of our royal jelly. I'm going to need to do more missions to unlock more of it. So with that, I'm going to set up a little nursery for our new mortar ants here. Get the wood ant nursery tile, get these guys set up, and I will cut back briefly. Alrighty, there we are, all nicely set up, and you can see we've burnt through all of our food. We've got only 53 food left of the just over 5,500 that we had before, keeping in mind that we also had additional food up here on the surface that wasn't completely used up. So we've burnt through everything. I haven't even got everybody up to maximum level. There are still 4 guys remaining. So that was a very expensive endeavor. It probably cost us 6,500 to 7,000 food just to get that all set up. So replacing these guys would also be relatively difficult because they are, let's have a quick look at them. They are 5 food to replace each one, and there are 38 of them. It's another 5 food for those guys and only 2 food for these guys here. But we are at full strength. I mean, we could hold 4 more if we did want to, but and we've only got 4 pieces of territory left. So we're effectively tapped out all our resources. If it's close to full strength as this hive is going to get, or this nest is going to get. So I'm inclined to take the challenge rather than go through and try and build up a food stockpile. I'm going to give it a shot and see if we pass or not. So let's dive on into Formicarium challenge number 2, the final challenge so far in the game to date.
The colony seems to have made significant progress. Perhaps it is time we began phase 2 of the trial.
Agreed. I will prepare the feeder colonies.
Okay, here we go, round 2. Unfortunately, this dickhead is gonna mix things up a bit for us, I reckon.
Let's ease them in with a familiar disturbance. Introduce 20 Formica fusca ants.
The Fusca colony is attached, and the ants are on their way.
I see they haven't lost their potency. Now let's try the Formica rufa ants.
The Rufa will be more aggressive. Our Raptors will need to put up a strong defense. Adding 20 Rufa ants.
So what we're facing here is Rufas. They are effectively the wood ants from before. So we now get a third challenge coming in from the northeast. And they're doing a fair bit of damage to us. I shouldn't have sent our workers up there to fight it. They're going to win this one, but an ongoing battle may not be the best idea. I should consider perhaps mixing these up, possibly even combining them into Team 1 and 2, and I think that's what I will do.
Once again, our Raptors have neutralized the threat to their queen.
Good. Continue the experiment as before, but don't push the colony too hard.
Of course not. That would be irresponsible.
I do like this guy a little bit, a brilliant character.
Introducing 40 Rufa ants.
Mix these guys back in, and we're going to have to use this group to go and take them down. Okay, so they appear to be using a mixture of rapid fire and mortar ants, so they can actually use both of them.
Excellent defense. Increasing to 50 Rufa ants.
You can really see the area effect attacks once they land here, just absolutely wipe them out. Really, really good stuff.
Good.
Excellent. Where is that food? Where is that food? There's a tiny bit up here. Let's run up there and grab that. Not a lot of food, they're just teasing us out to stop us from hiding under our burrow too much and fighting that choke point down there.
Now, let's see how they handle the Rufa and the Fusca invaders. We will start with 30 of each.
Yeah, these mortar take a little while to set up, but they are pretty effective once they get everything going. Once they get all into a firing position, a bit of Napoleonic tactics here, if they get into a firing position...
Wonderful victory on 2 fronts.
Yes, wonderful victory. They can blast them out of the water, really totally destroy them.
Perhaps we should try 3 colonies this time. Introducing 30 of each, Rufa, Fusca, and Raptor ants.
This one's going to be a little more difficult, coming in from 3 angles with only 2 groups. I would like to have these guys, but they're just not powerful enough to survive just yet.
A marvelous victory.
Okay, grab a bit more food. We did reasonably well there. We did survive. We lost, had a few losses, but our food is holding up. The little bits that are coming in are enough to keep us afloat, so to speak.
I wonder how long they will survive against a sustained flow from all 3 colonies. Let's see.
Okay, we'll attempt to hold here. We may need to retreat underground if this proves to be too much for us. I'm actually going to get these guys to come down here and attack to the south. I'm going to make them battle. Okay.
You're doing well, my
Not good.
intrepid Raptors, but
Not good.
what's this? A giant tiger beetle has joined the fray. And another, and another. Oh no, 3 tiger beetles.
Geez, they're coming for us. Doing some good damage. I don't want these guys to harvest food just yet. What I will do though is I'll get these guys to harvest food. So you guys come back here and actually start harvesting the food from these tiger beetles. It's a good opportunity. As long as our fighters can keep battling, we'll be in a good position, I reckon. You're going to have to come up north. I think these Formicarium are going to continue to just outrange us. If we're not up there attacking, they will whittle our forces down. Okay, we seem to be holding so far. If nothing major is going to come at us, I think we're going to manage to hold off. Our food reserves have actually increased, and although these 7 guys are down here running around as quickly as they can, they are keeping the replacements ticking over for the time being, so we're not being pushed beyond our limits just yet. So I think we've got this one under control. Looks like, yeah, these guys are just dominating down here, completely stopping the flow, which is brilliant. So the rest of us can hold off up here. Ah, spiders, okay.
Good work, my little ants. But what's this? 1, 2, 3, 9, 10 wolf spiders. It hardly seems fair.
They actually are dominating us down here. We need to fall this back right now. You guys head up there and start harvesting food. But these wolf spiders are en masse wiping us out. There we go. We've got them under control with our mortars. So you keep holding here in the north. You're going to have to fall up this way again and take those guys out. I want you to stop. Oh no, they're still harvesting food. That's good. So just keep harvesting food and keep us topped up. We're losing a lot of workers, but our soldiers seem to be holding on fairly steady at this point. Looks like they've finally beaten us down in the southwest here. It's going to be a small problem. I'm going to have to fall you back here, and you guys come back this way as well. Otherwise they're going to break into the nest and kill the queen. I think a couple of them have just gone in already, but we should catch them Yep, killed them off before they did too much damage and got down to the queen.
Yes, yes! Victory to the Raptor!
What's going on here?
Yes, the ants performed excellently against the roofer. They just staved off an attack from 40 roofer ants.
40? I think that's enough for now. We don't want to overstress them.
Agreed.
And there we go, victory for Formicarium Raptor. We did manage to actually beat the enemy back. I'm inclined to actually take the additional food at this point. More royal jelly would be nice, but I'm going to need a lot more anyway, so I can go and farm that on my own time. I think 4,000 food will bring us up to maximum storage capability again, so that would be brilliant. And there we go, congratulations, your colony has grown sufficiently to complete the current early access content. Formicarium is of course yours to command and to control.
Continue to watch over the Formicarium. Additional experiments will be on hold for the time being.
I understand. No more tests.
Yes, no more tests. More levels on the way soon. Additional content is available in other game modes from the main menu. I may or may not do that if there's any real interest in it. I haven't actually had a look at it, so I don't know what to expect, but I imagine it's just different like scenario setups and things like that. Keep an eye on social media, blah, blah, blah. Thank you, thank you. So what we do now is effectively, I choose to spawn in something. And there you go, they drop in one guy. Whoop-de-doo, we can go over and kill that. And that is going to be our source.
Beetle larvae.
Looks like a couple of them actually came in. I'm going to turn these guys onto food harvesting because we're going to need it. And sort of spread them out a little bit, harvest all the food that we can find, and you guys go down here and grab all that stuff. And that's effectively what we can do now. I can click in, you know, another couple of these ants, or all the different types of ants, the different bugs we've encountered, or a random mix. And what you can do is, if you're feeling really tricky, you can click one.
A few Raptors can't hurt.
Yeah, you get 5 Raptors. If I click 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was totally not what I expected. I know it works with the other bugs at least. Try it with the other bugs. See if I actually know what I'm doing or not. Let's try here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so they continue to spawn in. For some reason it didn't work with the Raptors. But what they do is they continue to spawn them in. And yeah, we've managed to hold off. And I actually may need to come back and protect the entrance here. And that's what you can do. You can effectively challenge yourself, click this one 100 times and have hundreds and hundreds of wolf spiders come in and rip their way around. But yeah, that's effectively our source of infinite food at this point. I can still, of course, go back and do the missions here. It doesn't pop up if there's still enemies on board. I can go back and do the missions as much as I want, but currently we are level 2. And that is the end of the content. So for the time being, this is going to be the end of this series. I will, of course, resume it once additional updates come out for this game, but that is going to be the end of it for now. I can of course just sit around and experiment. Maybe you guys want to think of a couple of challenges or something, let me know and I'll do some additional videos. But effectively this playlist will pick itself up again once this game expands and continues newest update. No idea on that roadmap, but eventually it will come out. I'll be keeping an eye, following this game. If you guys are interested, you can pick it up on Steam for what I believe is a reasonable price. I don't recall it off the top of my head, but it's a hell of a lot of fun. Brilliant little game, and offers a fair bit of replayability and different ways of structuring your Formicarium. I've gone for one particular one. If you guys have your own versions, but feel free to send me through some links and pictures and show me what you think of this. Look at all that bug meat down there. Anyway guys, I've been Blxz. This has been Empires of the Undergrowth. Smash that thumbs up button, subscribe if you've not done so already, and I will see you around.